Can We Be Strangers Again? Is a stirring, deeply emotional exploration of love, loss, and the intricate nature of human connections. It's a story about two people who once meant everything to each other, only to find themselves drifting apart as time and life take them in different directions. The novel takes readers on an intimate journey of self-discovery, heartache, and the search for closure. From the very first pages, the book pulls you into the complex emotional landscape of the main characters. Their love story is not a typical romance. It's messy, real, and full of contradictions. They are drawn together by an undeniable connection, but pushed apart by the forces of circumstance, personal growth, and their own emotional struggles. They both harbor deep wounds from their past, and as they attempt to navigate their separate lives, they grapple with the question, can we ever truly be strangers again once we've shared such an intimate part of ourselves? As the story unfolds, we are introduced to two distinct, yet deeply relatable characters. One of them is a person struggling to move on, caught in the web of past memories that haunt their every thought. The other, perhaps more reluctant to face their own feelings, seeks to bury the past and move forward. They are both on parallel journeys, yet their paths constantly intersect, forcing them to confront what they've left behind and what lies ahead. The beauty of this book lies in its exploration of the gray areas of relationships. It isn't about the typical happily ever after. Instead, it delves into the complexities that come with growing up, with changing, and with facing the truth that sometimes people grow in different directions. Can a relationship that has ended still leave a mark on your soul? Can the bonds of the past ever truly be erased? Or do they linger in subtle ways, influencing everything you do, even as you try to move on? One of the most compelling elements of Can We Be Strangers Again? Is its raw, emotional honesty. The characters are flawed, vulnerable, and human. They don't have all the answers, and neither does the story. It's not about neatly tying up loose ends or offering easy resolutions. Instead, it's about the process of healing, the necessity of letting go, and the realization that closure isn't something handed to you. It's something you have to create for yourself. It's a reminder that healing is not a linear process, and sometimes, the most painful parts of our journey are what shape us into who we are meant to be. Through their interactions, we also see how people change and evolve in different ways, even when they've once been so intimately connected. The question that keeps echoing through the book is, can you walk away from someone who once meant the world to you, without it leaving a lasting imprint on your heart? This idea is explored in such a thoughtful, poignant way, that it resonates with anyone who has ever loved, lost, or moved on from a relationship. It raises another powerful question. Can a person ever truly move on, or do we just learn to live with the absence of someone we once loved? There are moments of profound vulnerability throughout the novel, where the characters find themselves at crossroads, wondering if they can still salvage something from the wreckage of their shared past. As they begin to understand their own feelings and fears, the story asks them, and us, to consider whether it's possible to reconnect, not necessarily to rekindle the romance, but to come to terms with the person they once were to each other. The beauty of the book is that it's not just about relationships between two people. It's also about the relationships we have with ourselves. As both characters navigate their individual journeys, they are forced to confront their own flaws, desires, and past mistakes. They are faced with the difficult task of rediscovering who they are outside of the relationship, and how to move forward with or without the other person in their life. What makes this story so compelling is its relatability. Everyone has experienced the emotional turmoil of a breakup, the bittersweet memories that linger long after the relationship has ended, and the internal struggle of wondering whether it's possible to remain connected to someone after everything has changed. The author masterfully captures this feeling, making it easy for readers to connect with the characters on a deeply personal level. As the story moves toward its climax, the tension between the characters grows. Their internal battles, unresolved emotions, and unmet needs come to a head, forcing them to make decisions that will change the course of their lives. But the true magic of this book lies in how it keeps you guessing until the very end. Can they be strangers again? Or is there something more left to explore, something that might make them reconsider the meaning of their connection? In the end, Can We Be Strangers Again? Is not just a love story, it's a story about the power of change, the difficulty of moving on, and the painful but necessary process of healing. It shows us that sometimes, closure doesn't come in the form of a neat and tidy ending, but in accepting that some things are meant to be left behind, while others will always stay with us, no matter how hard we try to forget. It's a poignant reminder that no matter how far we try to move from our past, there are certain people, moments, and feelings that shape us in ways we cannot undo. And perhaps that's okay. Maybe the real answer isn't about whether we can be strangers again, but about what we choose to carry with us as we walk forward into the future. No matter where you are in your OON journey, this book offers a timeless reflection on love, loss, and the power of moving on. It's a reminder that while relationships may change, the lessons they teach us, and the memories we carry, will always stay with us in some form. So, can we be strangers again? Maybe not entirely, but perhaps, in learning to let go, we find a version of ourselves that's stronger, wiser, and ready to embrace the future. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Can We Be Strangers Again? If this story resonated with you, remember, sometimes the hardest goodbyes lead to the most important self-discoveries. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that explore the beauty and complexity of human connections. Until next time, keep reflecting, keep growing, and remember, you're never truly alone in the stories you love.